All right, Starville County Court of Brown County now in session. Starville Mayor, call will be presiding.
David Thomas, would you lead us in the invocations, please?
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. In Jesus' name, amen.
Mr. Griggs, we lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Crowder, please go and read the roll, please.
Beverly Atwood,
Present.
Tommy Belcher,
Here.
Shane Burton,
Here.
Alan Carmen, Grant Cochran,
Here.
Brian Crook,
Here.
Will Dennis,
Here.
Jerry Ford,
Here.
Chris Gregory,
Here.
Bubba Gregory,
Here.
Landon Gully,
Present.
Richard Johnson, Judy Kerr,
Here.
David Noller,
Here.
Leslie Overman,
Here.
Mark Presley,
Here.
Amber Russell,
Here.
Lonnie Taylor,
Here.
David Thomas,
Here.
Steve Whitaker,
Here.
18 present, 2 absent.
Thank you. I am assuming that everyone's had an opportunity to read the minutes from the May 22nd, 2023 meeting. And the special call June 1st, 2023 meeting. They've been distributed. If I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved by Chris Griggs, second. For a second. Second by Tommy Belcher. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Motion carried. Under announcements, the July 1st event, which is the 4th of July celebration parade at 3 p.m. Music in the park at 5 p.m. Fireworks at 9 p.m. I talked to Commissioner Johnson this afternoon. He is still at Sumner Regional Rehab on forward room 328. I'm sure he would appreciate a card. He's very interested in the court and wanted to hear this evening how everything went. So I'll call him and bring him up to speed on that. Please keep the Jewels in your thoughts and prayers. Martha Jo passed away this past Friday morning. I think the funeral visitation is this coming Friday.
Visitation is 1 to 8, Friday, the funeral Saturday 11.
Okay. There are 3 amendments to tonight's agenda that need to be approved. Revised agenda was sent to the commission last week after the work session. One is the elected official bond certificate of insurance. Another would be the resolution authorizing real estate investigation negotiation by the sheriff and the mayor. And the third is the resolution for nonprofit contributions to be added to the agenda. Do I hear a motion to do so? Motion by Commissioner Ford, second by Commissioner Presley. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carried. If anyone here tonight would like to speak to any matter on this month's agenda, members of the public, please sign in at the podium at this time. You'll be called to address the commission at the proper time. Is there anyone want to sign in this time? If not, we'll proceed with the mayor's report. We're currently working on with the Brownfield grant program as it pertains to the Ward property. EPA will come in and evaluate that property as to whether or not it can be restored to build a walking trail or a walking track on at some time. People from the state are very interested in this project because of Ward School's involved. And EPA will come in and do the assessment at no charge to the county. And once they've assessed that property, then there's grant money available to do some things, and there's considerable amount of money available. So The folks from the state seem especially eager to be involved in this project, and we feel real good about that. The multimodal grant, we're waiting for the contract to be signed on the sidewalks, which would extend from Main Street to McMurray. We're still waiting on TDOT to sign off on the streetscape project to free us up to make some adjustments to the curves downtown. Had promised that that's forthcoming, and so we're waiting. Kimley Horn is involved with the Trey Park project. We're waiting on design also to make decisions on what to do with the playground equipment that's down there now. I think Mr. Cliff will talk about that maybe later in the evening. Two of the schools have expressed interest in some of that playground equipment if it's salvageable. We had a meeting week before last with Spirit Architecture firm to begin to talk about square footage needs, try to distill that down. Lance Howell was a part of that meeting. It was a very productive meeting. A number of the people who would be involved in the jail and the criminal justice center going forward. That was very productive, and we have a meeting with Spirit Architecture set up for in a couple of weeks. At this time, we would like to recognize Rhonda Keesley. Rhonda, would you come up, please? We want to make a presentation to you tonight. All of you know that Rhonda served the planning commission for over 20 years and has served faithfully and has done a great job. So we have a little gift for you and another little gift for you. An appreciation for your service, not only to the planning commission, but to the citizens of Hartsville and Travis County. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Rhonda, we want your husband to take note that you got a standing ovation.
And I got flowers.
Under committee reports, the executive committee met on June 6th, and I'll call on different chairmen of those committees to bring a report to the commission this evening, beginning with emergency services.
We met on June the 7th. We discussed with the EMS with Chief Beatty. We discussed his budget, insurance reimbursement and adjustment rates, the new ambulance harness, the EMS collections are at 74% without the insurance contracted write-offs. We make sure that he understood that the PRN positions are in his budget if he wants to do that. Let's see. I'm reading my minutes, sorry. We discussed several topics with Chief Beatty. We heard from Chief Beeler about the fire department and its ongoing issues. We heard from Chief Harris at the rescue department. Their training, they've been doing some training. They got the Tahoe purchase. They got a grant for uniforms, and they're working on a new dispatch app. We also discussed merging all of the emergency departments, and we'll continue that discussion. We'll not meet in July. We'll be meeting again in August.
Thank you. Next would be Public Works.
Yes, we have a meeting on June 13th, open discussion, park grant. And the mayor presented us with rendering of the new play area, including the sidewalk and fencing, and added that the Crown County Elementary School has expressed interest in some using some of the old equipment, the new equipment put in. Mayor's in construction started soon as the old equipment is removed and expected to completing and explaining it about 24. Have a motion to declare the old equipment surplus It will not be open hard. If you would sold the road. Talk about the food, everything good running smooth at the food so far. I think one lot already quit, but I think it's running pretty good. Then let's talk about the courthouse, and we said that it's getting close to where we start having our meetings up there probably next month. We should, our meetings up there next month. And that was about it, and we scheduled our next meeting. 2019 at 6 o'clock.
Thank you, Commissioner Gregory. Codes and zoning,
So we had a meeting on June 14th. Rick Gregory came in to kind of present to us what he had done so far as the cleaning up and combining of the Hartsville and Trousdale County zoning ordinances. He's gotten all the way through most of the language on the introductory definitions and whatnot. Hasn't got into the zoning side of that yet. He was running into some conflicts where, so like for parking spaces for auditorium in the county, it was one parking spot for 5 seats in the auditorium. In the city, it was one parking spot for 4 seats in the auditorium. And he was kind of wondering what he needed to do. Talking with the committee, the charter states that if the two sets of ordinance conflict, then the more restrictive is what is put in place. So that's what he's doing on those smaller, just, little conflicts like that. So a couple of others he had were some larger conflicts. He's going to break those in line item. That way that they can go before planning commission also and be looked at there. And then those, when it's presented, those will be highlighted and brought before the commission, because those would actually be changes at that point. Was really impressed with the amount of work he's already accomplished. Hoping at the rate he's going, we should be able to have a full completed, set of ordinances by the end of the year at this rate. The other item we brought up, in Trousdale County, there are no regulations, not from the state or the county, for adult entertainment, First Amendment facilities. So that has been known for quite some time and has been brought before the commission or talked at the commission. Nothing's ever been done about it. So talking with Gregory, he showed me the ordinance coming out of Cheatham County, which has been in place for several years. It's already gone against some legal arguments against it and has withstood. So I took that to the committee. We looked through it. Everyone seemed to agree with the way it was set up. We made some changes in the wording so it would fit into ours. Motion was passed to send that on to planning. So that'll get to planning for this month's or for the July meeting. And we've got GNRC looking at that, and we've got Mr. Beller has also sent a copy of that to review.
thank you. Finance Committee,
Yes, we met June 20th. Most of the majority of our meeting will see the budget amendments for tonight. All budget amendments that have been presented tonight on our agenda did pass favorable recommendation. Actually, all votes were 5-0 in those cases. So there's really nothing other than what we've got inside here that was a part of our discussion.
thank you, Mr. Bell. Are there any other committee reports at this time?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Personnel has a scheduled meeting this Thursday, the 29th, at 6 p.m. At the mayor's office, as far as I know, unless the meeting is here.
It's still for the mayor's office, unless you want it changed.
At the mayor's office.
Sure. Any other committee reports this time? Under active business, under the certificate of compliance, Hartsville Liquors, new owner is being added to that. I think that has to just be acknowledged by the court, but we can ask for an approval, can't we, Ms. Crowder?
Say so.
So I would entertain a motion to approve by Bubba Gregory, second by Mark Presley. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Under elected officials, bond certificate of insurance, distributions to be spread in minutes of tonight's meeting, that have to be approved or just acknowledged?
Just acknowledge.
Just acknowledged, so that's for your information. Under appointments. My basic report to the fire department was, and things have settled down considerably there. We're going to recommend that Mr. Beeler be interim fire chief for another 90 days. We have a consultant that's working with the fire department now, looking into the charter and some other possibilities. And so I'm hoping at the end of the 90 days, we'll have his report and I can report back to the board. Those being nominated for the planning commission are Cal Welch, I think Cal's here tonight, and Katie Dillon, Dillon Cabinet Company. The Dillons live in, up on Dog Branch, and they're part of the Dillon Cabinet Company that builds cabinets for Cracker Barrel. Under boards and zoning appeal, Cicely Saputo is married to Ben Frock, and Ben is our BSO. They live on Thoroughbred. She's an engineer, very capable and very interested. And Paul Knudsen, I think everyone here knows Paul. These appointments will begin on July 1st. I would entertain a motion to approve. Motion to approve by Commissioner Crew, second by Commissioner Taylor. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carried. Under resolutions. Resolution 2023-15-784. This is to continue the fiscal year 23 budget into fiscal year 24. I understand this is necessary until our new budget is approved. Is that correct?
Correct. This was kind of a CYA resolution in case the budget that is proposed to you does not pass before June 30th.
I have a motion to approve by Commissioner Ford. Second by Commissioner Chris Greer. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carried. Under resolution 2023-17-786. Yes,
Does that need to be roll call?
I'm sorry.
The continuation, it does not need to be roll call. No.
Mr. Gully, does that answer your question? too?
Resolution.
Resolution 2023-17-786 is for county road listings.
We're 785.
That's required by. That's just standard procedure. Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
784, 786, we're 785.
785 was moved until after the budget ordinances.
Okay.
Should be on the second page of your revised agenda.
I would entertain a motion to approve on the county road listing. Motion to approve. Second by Mr.
Okay.
Burton. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carried. Resolution 2023-18-787. This has to do with the CDBG housing rehab policies and procedures. It's something that we have to pass and then for that grant to go forward, as I understand it. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Landon.
Thanks. Full documentation.
You need
is loading along line. I'm sorry. Motion to approve by
Yes.
Mr. Gully,
Second.
second by Atwood. In discussion.
One question about, we got one of these, same grants a few years back. Did anything change from the procedures from last time?
It really didn't. It was just more towards
Okay.
this particular grant.
Okay,
Everything's pretty cut and dry.
okay, I just want to make sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions or comments? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Resolution 2023-22 791 is to authorize the mayor and the sheriff to begin to investigate and negotiate on land purchases, which would have to be approved by this commission. But in order to receive the USDA funding, we need to be moving forward as far as having land purchased and a plan for a facility going there. That's just for us to go ahead and investigate. Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Mr. Crook, second by Mr. Presley. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Under ordinances, we'll now open up public hearing for a second reading on ordinance 288, 2023-25. Trash services for roll-off fees. Anyone would like to speak to that? If not, we'll move to ordinance 290, 2023-27. Rezoning on A1 to R1 on tax map 016 parcel 06.17. Anyone wish to speak to that? Anyone? Then I entertain a motion to close public hearing by Mr. Gully, second, Mr. Thomas. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carried. So now we go to second reading of ordinance 288, 2023-25 trash services for roll-off fees. Motion by Billy.
Second.
Second by Chris Gregory. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carried. Ordinance 290, 2023-27, rezoning from A1 to R1 on tax map 016 parcel 06.17. Motion to approve by Crook. Second by Gully. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Budget items for fiscal year 2024 ordinances. Public hearing is now open for the second and third readings of, or the second reading for ordinance 291, 2023-28, general services appropriation for fiscal year 2024. Your motion to approve.
Your public hearing.
Oh, public hearing, I'm sorry. Anyone like to speak to this?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
On this one item, or do we wait to the?
It's up to the body.
I have a motion to close public hearing on this particular one. There a second? Second by Ms. Kerr. In discussion?
We're not doing public hearing on all four and then. So we're
Well,
not. Separate vote.
I asked that question, but I had a motion on the floor, so,
I'll revise my motion.
okay. You want to wait to close hearing after we presented all four? Okay. Then we'll step down to ordinance 292, 2023-29, general services tax levy 2023. Anyone want to speak to that? If not, item 3, ordinance 293, 2023-30, urban services appropriation for fiscal year 2024. Any discussion there? Anyone? Then we'll move to item 4. Ordinance 294, 2023-31, urban services tax levy 2023. Any discussion? Public comment? If not, Ms. Atwood, I would entertain your motion to close public hearing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, second by Commissioner Taylor. All in favor of closing public hearing? Please let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carried. Okay, we'll take roll call on ordinance under number one, ordinance 291-2023-28, general services appropriation for fiscal year 2024.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Motion to approve by Commissioner Billy. Do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner Atwood. Roll call.
Beverly Atwood,
I'm sorry.
You can have discussion.
Hmm.
Discussion.
Discussion, I'm sorry, discussion. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I know that in the first reading, there was kind of a split vote, and a lot of that centered on the county taking on the loan for doing the roof at the middle school or the elementary school. In talking with the gentleman after a work session who came and discussed the loan with us, I found out that we do not have to take the full amount that we are approved for. That we are approved for 1.9 million, but we don't have to take the full amount. The schools can take their 1 million. We do not have to take the 900,000. So, and it would, I guess it would apply to a motion on the actual resolution for that loan. But I'd like to throw that out there as a compromise. It still allows the schools to get the lower interest rate on the 1 million, but that the county not take the 900,000 draw on that.
Further discussion? Yes, sir.
I would be okay with, I'd be okay with that. Like I said, my biggest objection to the budget, and I said all along, was the roof. You know, putting that obligation on us. So that to me would seem to be a reasonable compromise. I guess I would have a question if we decide to do what Commissioner Thomas stated, would we need to change the resolution dealing with that to remove that amount before we do budget or after, or does it make a difference either way?
It's my understanding that the resolution is approving up to the 1.9. I don't believe you have to take the full amount, but the comptroller and the bank that is offering the loan, it says you can do it up to 1.9.
I guess my concern is I'd want to see that removed from that 900 removed, just so it. Not that anybody would play any shenanigans, but just, you know, just to take that, basically take any reference to that we're going to take on that portion out, but.
Any other comments?
So in talking with him, if we change the wording of the resolution, it has to go back before the comptroller for approval again, which would then put us outside the window to get the lower interest rate. What we could do, though, is in the motion for accepting that resolution, state that we are only going to be withdrawing the 1 billion for the Board of Education, that we would not be withdrawing the 9. And that should be sufficient, because that doesn't authorize any other money coming off that approved amount, but the 1 million. And what the schools does with that 1 million, we can't control anyway.
Thank you. I appreciate clarification.
You can go ahead and vote, but it would be voting on the budget as it's standing.
Any other discussion? Yes, sir. Mr.
Yeah.
Behind you, I'm sorry. Will, I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman,
Dennis.
I don't question what's been said is not accurate. However, I have talked to Bill many times with that gentleman. There is two options. The option that you're talking about is the one that's not fixed for 10 years. It's the one that's only fixed for 5. That is the option you can make draws off. An option that's fixed for 10 years has to be fully funded. One more time. On day one. It's been talked about expressively that it was important to this commission to be able to budget and know what the payment on those funds would be. That option 2 does not do that. Option 2, you pay interest on what you draw out. You want to dictate to how the money's spent, that's fine, but you lose being able to know what that payment's gonna be and lose the fact that it hits 0 in 2 years.
And in 5 years, it could be a huge business. Much larger.
Mr. Ford.
I believe this also includes 5 cents, which was paid for the funds for the roof. That 5 cents is still in there.
Any other discussion? Yes, sir.
But too, the budget numbers in this packet, does it include that full 1.9? And if so, if we opt to go with Commissioner Thomas's idea, would we need to adjust any of these numbers?
I believe that 1.9 is reflected in the school's budget. Dr. Satterfield can probably confirm that.
This question. Yes.
Any other discussion?
So the 1.9 is reflected in. Okay. I'll move to amend the.
You already have a
You
motion.
got a motion, it's taken on the floor.
Any other discussion? If not, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Roll call.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Will you restate the motion?
Would I restate the motion? It's on approval of ordinance 291-2023-28 general services appropriation for fiscal year 2024.
As is with no.
As is.
no changes.
As is.
And that does take in the motion from the first reading to take out the 1.9 million debt on the 10-year fixed rate.
Beverly Atwood,
Yes.
Tommy Belcher,
Yes.
Shane Burton,
Yes.
Alan Carmen, absent, Grant Cochran,
Yes.
Brian Crook,
Yeah.
Will Dennis,
Yes.
Jerry Ford,
No,
Chris Gregory,
No.
Bubba Gregory,
Yes.
Landon Gully,
Yes.
Richard's absent, Judy Kerr,
Yes.
David Nollner,
Yes.
Leslie Overman,
No.
Mark Presley,
Yes.
Amber Russell,
Yes.
Lonnie Taylor,
Yes.
David Thomas,
No.
Steve Whitaker,
Yes.
got 14 yes, 4 no, 2 absent.
Motion carried. Moving on to ordinance 292-2023-29 general services tax levy for 2023. 2023.
Do we have any to take any third reading right now?
I'm sorry.
The third reading.
No, ma'am. That'll come later.
I don't want to
Unless-
question.
I take that back. Unless the body would like to take the third reading right now, you can take that.
Can we
back.
make a motion to take the third reading now?
It would just be for that one ordinance. It would be by roll call. You would have to do it for every ordinance if you do it that way.
Exactly.
Or you're saying once at the end.
Or you can take one third reading for all 4 ordinances. It is the will of the body.
Is that the will of the body?
It's a way to do all for us.
You got 14 votes. I don't see any sense in putting this off and, having a call meeting, which was cost the county another $2,000. So if you got the votes to pass it, we need to vote it. This says if it passes, you can do the other vote no. That's what it says right there, unless I'm blind.
We can pass all these.
Second,
ordinances
third
together
reading,
After we.
third, take place, and two thirds do motion.
We can pass all these together.
Yeah.
Need to continue with number two. Um, and do we need a roll call vote on each of these?
Yeah.
We do. Okay, so we're on ordinance 292, 2023, 29, general services tax levy for 2023. Diane, your motion to approve. Motion to approve by Nolan, second by Commissioner Kerr. Discussion. Not all in a roll call, I'm sorry.
Ready? Beverly Atwood,
Yes.
Tommy Belcher,
Yes.
Shane Burton,
Yes.
Grant Cothran,
Yes.
Brian Crook,
No.
Will Dennis,
Yes.
Jerry Ford,
Yes.
Chris Gregory,
No.
Bubba Gregory,
Yes.
Landon Gully,
Yes.
Judy Kerr,
Yes.
David Nollner,
Yes.
Leslie Overman,
No.
Mark Presley,
Yes.
Amber Russell,
Yes.
Lonnie Taylor,
Yes.
David Thomas,
No.
Steve Whitaker.
Yes.
14 yes, 4 no.
Motion carried. Under item number 3, ordinance 293, 2023 30, urban services appropriation for fiscal year 2024. Diana, I'll entertain a motion to approve. Motion by Bubba Gregory, second by Grant Cochran. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, I'm getting ahead of myself. Roll call.
Hold on. Beverly Atwood,
Yes.
Tommy Belcher, Shane Burton,
Yes.
Grant Cothran,
Yes.
Brian Crook,
Yes.
Will Dennis,
Yes.
Jerry Ford,
Yes.
Chris Gregory,
No.
Bubba Gregory,
Yes.
Landon Gully,
Yes.
Judy Kerr,
Yes.
David Nollner,
Yes.
Leslie Overman,
No.
Mark Presley,
Yes.
Amber Russell,
Yes.
Lonnie Taylor,
Yes.
David Thomas,
No.
Steve Whitaker.
Yes.
15 yes, 3 no. 2 absent.
Motion carried. And item number 4, ordinance 294, 2023 31, urban services tax levy for 2023, and I think only the members of that committee can, so I'll entertain a motion to approve by Mark Presley, a second by Commissioner Bubba Gregory. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
No,
Still roll call.
Roll call again. Shane, you're still.
Too many roll calls.
Madam Clerk.
hold on. Hey, Bubba Gregory,
Yes.
Mark Presley,
Yes.
Lonnie Taylor,
Yes.
3 yes, 0 no.
Motion carried. Now, I think I'm correct then that I can entertain a motion to approve third reading of ordinance,
To hold the third reading.
to hold the third reading for ordinance for all. Yeah, okay.
Motion, so moved.
Motion by Shane Burton, second by
Second by who?
Atwood. Discussion,
So it's on all of them at once?
roll call, yes, roll call. All four.
Just to have it.
think I got hit of you again there.
A little bit. Okay,
Chairman, for clarification purposes, this vote is just voting to have a third reading. It is not voting as the third reading.
I thought this was the.
I already made a motion to hold the third and a second on it.
It's to hold the third reading. It's not the third reading, but to have the third reading.
The motion was to have the next, was to have the third reading. Right.
we ready?
Yeah, right.
Beverly Atwood,
Yes.
Tommy Belcher. Tommy Belcher,
Yes.
Shane Burton,
Yes.
Grant Cochran,
Yes.
Brian Crook,
Yes.
Will Dennis,
Yes.
Jerry Ford,
Yes,
Chris Gregory,
Yes.
Bubba Gregory.
Yes.
Landon Gully,
Yes.
Judy Kerr,
Yes.
David Nollner,
Yes.
Leslie Overman,
Yes.
Mark Presley,
Yes.
Amber Russell,
Yes.
Lonnie Taylor,
Yes.
David Thomas,
Yes.
Steve Whitaker.
Yes.
18 yes, 0 no.
Each one, roll call,
All four.
each one.
I'm kind of getting used to these roll calls. Yes, sir.
I'll wait
Okay.
to get to the.
So now we begin with ordinance 291-2023-28 general services appropriation for fiscal year 2024.
Motion to amend this one to remove the $900,000 from the school fund so that we can do what Mr. Thomas suggested.
I have a motion to amend.
To remove what now?
To remove the $900,000 from the school budget.
I have a motion to amend the ordinance.
Got a question. So if we amend this, like you're saying, we will not have a fixed rate for all 10 years.
Correct. Correct.
Exactly.
so it was in one meeting.
Do I have a second?
Do we need amendments? Seems to be the only way we can do what Mr. Thomas
Motion
suggested.
failed from lack of a second. Any other discussion? Yes, sir.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay. I have a motion to approve, motion by Commissioner Bubba Gregory, second by Commissioner Cochran. Any further discussion? Roll call. Yes, sir.
I have a question.
Yes,
Chris is not go through.
it did not.
No.
No, wait, second, do.
Died from lack of a second. Okay. Roll call.
Beverly Atwood,
Yes.
Tommy Belcher,
Yes,
Shane Burton,
Yes.
Grant Cochran,
Yes.
Brian Crook.
Yeah.
Will Dennis,
Yes.
Jerry Ford,
yes,
Chris Gregory,
No.
Bubba Gregory, Landon Gully,
Yes.
Judy Kerr,
Yes.
David Nollner,
Yes.
Leslie Overman,
No.
Mark Presley,
Yes.
Amber Russell,
Yes.
Lonnie Taylor,
Yes.
David Thomas,
No.
Steve Whitaker.
Yes.
15 yes, 3 no.
Motion carried. Under item 2, ordinance 2023-29, general services tax levy for 2023. Your motion to approve?
Motion approved.
Motion to approve by Grant Cochran,
Second.
second by Burton. Discussion? Yes, sir.
this right here does have a 5 cent increase in their bracket.
Any further discussion? Madam Clerk, roll call.
Beverly Atwood, Tommy Belcher, Shane Burton,
Yes.
Grant Cochran,
Yes.
Brian Crook,
No.
Will Dennis,
Yes.
Jerry Ford,
No,
Chris Gregory,
No.
Bubba Gregory,
Yes.
Landon Gully,
Yes.
Judy Kerr,
Yes.
David Nollner,
Yes.
Leslie Overman,
No.
Mark Presley,
Yes.
Amber Russell,
Yes.
Lonnie Taylor,
Yes.
David Thomas,
No.
Steve Whitaker.
Yes.
13 yes and 5 no.
Motion carried. Under item number 3, ordinance 293-2023-30, urban services appropriation for fiscal year 2024. Motion to approve, motion by Bubba Gregory, second by Commissioner Gully. Discussion. No discussion, all in favor say aye. Sorry, roll call. Roll call.
Beverly Atwood.
No.
Tommy Belcher. Shane Burton.
Yes.
Grant Cochran. Brian Crook.
Yes.
Will Dennis.
Yes.
Jerry Ford.
Yes.
Chris Gregory.
No.
Bubba Gregory.
Yeah.
Landon Gully.
Yes.
Judy Kerr.
Yes.
David Nollner.
Yes.
Leslie Overman.
No.
Mark Presley.
Yes.
Amber Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Taylor.
Yes.
David Thomas.
No.
Steve Whitaker.
Yes.
15 yes, 3 no.
Motion carried. Under item number 4, ordinance 294-2023-31, urban services tax levy 2023, only the 3 members of that committee can vote. Motion to approve by Bubba Gregory, second by Lonnie Taylor. Discussion. Roll call.
Bubba Gregory,
Yes.
Mark Presley,
Yes.
Lonnie Taylor,
Yes.
3 yes, 0 no.
Motion carried. Okay, under resolutions, item number 1, resolution 2023-16 785 on the continuing lease agreements. Any questions on that? It's a annual resolution. I'll entertain a motion to approve. Motion to approve. Motion to approve by Commissioner Crook, second by Commissioner Cochran. Discussion. We do not have to have a roll call on this one. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carried. Resolution 2023-19-788, debt agreement for 1.9 million in educational capital projects. Motion to approve by Gully, second. Second by Grant Cochran. Discussion. I suggest we roll call this.
Do we have the option to amend it along the lines that I suggested earlier? We've already got a motion.
Hey, when you think about the next stage.
Beverly Atwood.
Yeah.
Tommy Belcher. Shane Burton,
Yes.
Grant Cochran,
Yes.
Brian Crook,
No.
Will Dennis, Jerry Ford,
Yes.
Chris Gregory,
No.
Bubba Gregory,
Yes.
Landon Gully,
Yes.
Judy Kerr,
Yes.
David Nollner,
Yes.
Leslie Overman,
No.
Mark Presley,
Yes.
Amber Russell,
Yes.
Lonnie Taylor,
Yes.
David Thomas,
No.
Steve Whitaker.
Yes.
14 yes, 4 no.
Motion carried. Under item 3, resolution 2023-20-789, refunding agreement for the 2016 notes. CJC, EESI. I think you have that information in your folder. I'm sure that was discussed at length in work session. Yes, sir.
Well, I think of this, there might be some savings going into the county over the next couple of years. And we are right now on interest rate higher than 1.2, I believe, which is legitimate against. That savings will stay in. The one debt services.
Mhm.
That savings would stay, whatever's left over there, at least right now, would stay.
For this year, it is up to the body if they want to move pennies out of that fund at any time.
So it wouldn't go straight to the event.
The loans are paid out of 151. So any savings would stay in that fund, but you can always move pennies from year to year.
I hear a motion to approve. Motion by Commissioner Gully. Second by Commissioner Russell. Discussion. Madam Clerk, you're earning your money tonight.
Burned it all. Beverly Atwood,
Yes.
Tommy Belcher, Shane Burton,
Yes.
Grant Cochran,
Yes.
Brian Crook.
Yeah.
Will Dennis,
Yes.
Jerry Ford,
Yes.
Chris Gregory,
Yes.
Bubba Gregory.
Yes.
Landon Gully,
Yes.
Judy Kerr,
Yes.
David Nollner,
Yes.
Leslie Overman,
Yes.
Mark Presley,
Yes.
Amber Russell,
Yes.
Lonnie Taylor,
Yes.
David Thomas,
Yes.
Steve Whitaker.
Yes.
18 yes, 0 no. 2 absent.
Motion carried. Under item number 4, resolution 2023-21-790, nonprofit contributions. I think everyone has some. Discuss. There. Yes,
It's
sir.
a final amount, but maybe they're in the back.
Yes, sir. Motion to approve by Commissioner Bubba Gregory,
Second.
second by Chris Gregory. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carried. How would we like to attack these budget amendments? Do we want to do them all at once or one of them? What is the will of the body on budget amendments?
Motion to take them all at once.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, motion by Thomas, second by Commissioner Chris Gregory, take them all at once. Any discussion?
Take them all at once or take them all at once? Okay.
Any discussion? We're voting on whether or not to take them all at once, right? Discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no.
That's what I was asking. The motion was to take them all at once,
Right.
not to
Well,
approve them at once.
That's what he said.
I stand corrected. Now, you want me to restate that? Motion was to approve them all,
No, you've already taken the vote.
and so I need to do it again, okay? Do I have a good, now I have a motion to approve them all.
I'll second that one.
Second that include same way. Thomas Street. Discussion. Not all in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you. We have a number of notaries to be elected June 26, 2023. Tina Inman, USDA Farm Service Agency. Jennifer Lynn Moran Legg, who's self-employed. Whitney Presley, Troutman County Sheriff's Department. Autumn Scott, with CNA Farms and Trucking. And Brittany Taylor with Escola Roofing LLC.
Most approved.
Have a motion approved by Commissioner Pruitt,
Second.
second by Commissioner Burton. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carried. Under other business, discussion of playground equipment, Cliff, do you want to bring us up to date on that?
I know that, they went ahead and passed, have a surplus, I don't know exactly what to go to the body would be to do with it. I've had some pictures here. If y'all look over some of the stuff we're gonna try to keep to move into the Little League ball field area and some of it. The big scrap metal and whatever y'all would like to do with it.
Commissioner Gully?
We discussed in, public works the other night, the items as were stated there, some area, the corner booth, maybe the other part, as it's laid out in our packet here. I know Mr. Drew, and I'm probably myself in public works that reached out and said, principal of Travis County Elementary School, that she would be quite interested in some of that surplus equipment going to the elementary school. That was good still equipment. It states in our packet here that the number one, the yellow towers, the red tower, are good equipment. One needs except needs the bottom step, otherwise it's going to put the field this time. I think it would be good for this body to move that elementary school where it gets that use. Our kids get that use there instead. If that's the way you want to put that motion, here's what I'm misunderstanding. I talked to our sheriff about it. He was aware of it, to make sure that we're collaborating this. It's got to be disassembled and reassembled. So I'm sure there's a cost associated with those pieces. So that's something we need to make sure we can get moving forward. When does this equipment have to be out? It's Sunday, and who's taking it apart?
Whoever relative to require. We don't have that.
Yes, sir.
Can the ag shop take it apart? I know a lot of us put a lot of that stuff together.
That would be a question I'd have for the teacher. The only thing, one of the things we have to be sure of is we try to put that back on our program. It has to be inspected. All liability the same. I have no
It won't pass the face of my work.
It was not. That the other side of that.
We've got a green light from the sheriff's department to help with that. Yeah. So I think between the 2 or 3 parties, we can get it done. So thank you. Any other discussion? Any public comment? At this point, anyone? Yes, sir, in the back.
Committees needs to make a decision on what they want to do with the names on the fence, and how they want to display and move forward.
I believe that is in the design for the playground. They're doing a piece with all the current names that are out there.
That's part of the design, isn't it? Yeah. Any other public comment? Anyone?
Question,
Yes, sir.
is a new playground going back to the same place?
It is.
I have the same problem we had for the last 25 years. Elevation.
Everything is being worked out. That is all part of the design. drainage is part of all of this.
Yeah.
That was a big issue in the discussions.
It's always been a big issue with that.
Any other comment? Not. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Second by Cook. All in favor, say aye. Thank you.